Yes, sir.
Many boxing experts, legends, and former champions have weighed in on this matchup, and their opinion about it is wild.
The first couple rounds are going to be dangerous for Paul. Even at 58, I don't care. I'll tell you one thing. He still has quick twitch fibers. He still has muscle memory. He was a great heavyweight champion. That he's still, he still remembers how to slip, how to throw and fill a hole when he slipped, how to weave, how to come out of it with a hook. He still has power. The last thing to go, reflexes are gonna go. Speed is gonna be deteriorated, but power is the last thing to go. He still has power. He's still got that quick twitch with speed.
Hey, so I was just watching some videos of Mike Tyson training, and I came across this really interesting comment from Teddy Atlas. You know, the legendary boxing trainer? Yeah, that guy. Anyway, Teddy was praising Tyson's performance in these training videos, and he said something that really stuck with me. He mentioned that power is the last thing that goes away in a fighter. It's like, even when a boxer starts to lose their speed, agility, and reflexes as they age, their raw punching power is the one attribute that seems to stick around the longest. And you know what? Coming from a guy like Teddy Atlas, that observation holds a lot of weight. I mean, this is someone who has worked with countless world-class fighters and has seen the rise and fall of many boxing greats. So when he says something like that about Tyson, you can't help but sit up and take notice. It's just fascinating to think about, isn't it? Like, even as Father Time catches up with a fighter, they can still rely on that devastating power to keep them in the game. And in Tyson's case, his power was always one of his most feared attributes. I mean, the guy could knock out opponents with a single punch.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky.
I look at fat as armor. I mean, look at Tyson Fury. Lots of armor.
Tell these people who keep saying that this fight is scripted for Jake Paul to win.
Well, just come to the fight and you'll see. And listen, I started Jake off and I'm going to finish him.
Jake Paul, same question. People keep saying that this fight is scripted.
Clearly they don't have a high IQ in here, but that's a federal crime, Brian.
It's going to be a real fight, guys. Faking a fight would be a crime. And look how both of these guys are training. They're training extra hard, putting hours and hours every day for weeks. But before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this. Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick.
Okay, so get this. I was just reading about how Evander Holyfield was raving about Mike Tyson's speed and power, and it really got me thinking, Holyfield, being the boxer he was, he knew a thing or two about what it takes to be great in the ring. So when he starts heaping praise on Tyson, saying how incredibly fast and powerful he was, that carries some serious weight. It's like, here's this guy who's been in there with the best of the best, and he's singling out Tyson's quickness and strength as something special. I mean, think about it. For someone as accomplished as Holyfield to be that impressed by another fighter's abilities, it really speaks volumes about just how gifted Tyson was in his prime.
I don't give a if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
Mike's in good shape, too.
Oh, my God.
Mike trains every day.
He trains with Rafael Cordero, who's a legend in MMA. He runs King's Mixed Martial Arts.
Yeah, Mike,
that guy can still you up.
He don't want to fight.
Joe Rogan is right. Mike Tyson has been an absolute beast in training lately. Apparently, for the past few weeks, he's been putting in an extra 3 hours a day on top of his usual regimen. Can you imagine Iron Mike pushing himself even harder than before? And here's the thing. People are saying he looks absolutely terrifying, like more so than usual. His intensity is off the charts and he's got this look in his eyes that just screams, "Don't mess with me." It's like he's tapped into a whole new level of focus and determination. I mean, we all know Mike Tyson is a force to be reckoned with on a normal day, but with this extra training, it's hard to even fathom what he's capable of now. If I were his next opponent, I'd be shaking in my boots.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't see how Jake pulls this off. I see Mike Tyson punching him in the body, and I don't see how Jake stops that. Jake is not of the size to give Mike a problem. Mike can be, big guys would hold Mike. Guys with long reach that outweigh him.
Yeah.
I think people that's Mike's weight, with Mike's center of gravity, I don't think there's anything that's going to stop him. Mike hits him in the body don't move that much. I don't see how Jake survives a body attack.
I was watching this interview on Vlad TV with Michael Jai White, the actor and martial artist, and they got to talking about Jake Paul and his whole boxing thing. Michael straight up said that he doesn't think Jake could handle a solid punch from Mike Tyson. White was like, Jake's young and athletic, sure, but Tyson's power is on another level. It's not just about being in shape. Man, I gotta agree with Michael on this one. I mean, I respect Jake for stepping into the ring and all, but going up against a legend like Tyson, that's a whole different ballgame.
And so at the end of the day, I don't think that Jake Paul's ever been hit with anything with that type of power. And so I think that, Mike still got it. So we'll always have that power. It's the last thing to go. Yeah, for us fighters, the power is, is the last thing to go. And at the end of the day, I think that Mike is still, relevant when it comes to, him.
I mean, Mike, it's Iron Mike. You feel me? He's a legend in the sport. Jake, he's a YouTuber. I feel like if Mike jumps on him early, once you know how to box, his power is never gonna leave him. I feel like if Mike jump on him early, you can get him.
Jeff Mayweather and these other total expert analysts were weighing in on Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul matchup everyone keeps going on about. Now, they didn't mince words. To hear them tell it, Paul wouldn't stand a chance of taking one of Tyson's punches. No way. No how. The way they broke it down, the sheer force Tyson generates combined with Paul's inexperience taking hits from elite boxers. They think he'd crumple like a piece of paper, man. I mean, you gotta consider the source. These are dudes who seriously know their stuff when it comes to boxing. Let's just say I wouldn't want to be in his shoes stepping in the ring with Iron Mike. That's one matchup that could get ugly real fast, huh?
It's bullshit, man. It's, how old is Mike Tyson, 60?
57.
57. Jake Paul, you are a disgrace of a man. You are the epitome of weakness. You are the scum of the earth. The fact that you even have a platform or anything of that nature is a slight on society. You truly make me fucking disgusted. And if I ever encounter you in real life, I hope that I just don't lose my and go to prison.
Man, Sean Strickland absolutely went off on Jake Paul. Sean straight up called Jake a disgrace of a man. He didn't mince words at all. Apparently, Sean really hates how Jake constantly does all these crazy, outrageous things just to get attention and stay in the spotlight. He said it's all just for clout and that Jake's not a real fighter or anything. Honestly, I can kind of see where Sean's coming from. Jake does seem to thrive on controversy and pulling wild stunts. It's like he'll do anything to keep people talking about him, even if it's not always in a good way. I guess that's just the influencer life, though, always chasing the next big thing to go viral. But Sean clearly thinks it's a disgrace to real martial artists who take their craft seriously.
Sean Strickland, beating up Sneeko, trying to drop him, which was embarrassing that he couldn't. He went all out. I just tweeted at him, Sean Strickland, you're embarrassing for trying to stop Sneeko like that. You weren't even able to drop someone with no experience while going all out. You're a horrid boxer that only picks on inexperienced people, which is true. If you see all these clips of him beating up random people in the gym, he never spars anyone good. I'll fly you to PR and we can fight on camera. If you win, I'll give you $1 million, which is half of his net worth. I Googled it. His net worth is $2 million, so offering him half of his net worth, which is a great deal. I wish someone would offer me half of my net worth to fight. I would be on the next flight out. But if you get dropped, you have to get better tattooed on you. DM me. But just like Paddy Pimblett, I'm guessing you'll find a way to run. Paddy ducked. I'm guessing Sean will do the same.
Sean had been talking some serious trash about Jake, right? Well, Jake wasn't about to just let that slide. Nah, he struck back hard, calling Sean out for being super insecure. Jake was like, bro, if you're so tough, why don't you prove it in the ring? He straight up challenged Sean to a fight. Can you believe it? And by calling him insecure, Jake was poking at Sean's ego, trying to rile him up and get under his skin. Do you think Sean will actually take him up on the offer and agree to a fight?
I already gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does.
Well. Yeah, look, he's the bull, I'm the matador. And it's that simple. Speed and timing beats power. I don't have a warning from Mike. I think he knows that I'm not scared of him or his antics.
I'm not concerned about anything. If I was concerned, I wouldn't be here talking to you.
I'm very confident in myself, and I'm going to win in devastating fashion. I think the people who are really experts at betting are rooting for me.
If there were no doubters, this wouldn't be a big event. We have to have doubters. It's just what it is. Tell them if they could afford a ticket, come to the fight.
Did you hear about what Jake Paul said? He's crazy for saying that. He's claiming that he's going to devastate Mike Tyson in the coming boxing match. Can you believe it? The difference in their physical attributes is staggering. Tyson is known for his explosive speed and devastating punching power, whereas Jake Paul has yet to demonstrate anything close to that level of ability. It's laughable to think that Jake Paul could not only beat Mike Tyson, but do so in a devastating fashion. It's like saying a high school basketball player could easily dunk on LeBron James.
So what do you do, Mike?
Mike said lately, stop eating raw meat, all the prepared foods, taking the fight as serious as you can. How does that make you feel as a guy across the ring?
As he should. I mean, why is he boasting about stopping smoking? This is professional fighting. It's a pro fight. So what do you do, Mike? Congrats, you stopped smoking. That's what you should be doing. You're focused. You're telling the world that. Yeah, you should, because I'm coming for you, and you have a lot to deal with in front of you.
Look, I get that Jake loves to stir up controversy for clout, but this is Mike Tyson we're talking about. The dude's a living legend. You don't just go around publicly trashing a champion like that, no matter how desperate you are for attention. It's not only disrespectful to Mike, but to the whole boxing community. Now, there are rumors flying that Mike is absolutely fuming over Jake's comments. I mean, can you blame him? The man's earned his status and doesn't need some YouTube punk running his mouth. People are saying Mike might even come out of retirement just to put Jake in his place. Imagine that. Honestly, Jake needs to learn when to zip it. I get that he's trying to stay relevant, but there's a fine line between playful trash talk and flat-out disrespect. He's dancing all over that line and then some. If I were him, I'd be issuing a public apology to Mike ASAP and hoping the champ is in a forgiving mood. You just don't mess with an icon like Mike Tyson and expect to walk away unscathed.
About to old people today, like that's what's interesting about this Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Old people today have hormone replacement. Hormone replacement's a game changer.
Discussing the rumored boxing match between legend Mike Tyson and YouTube sensation turned pro boxer Jake Paul. They noted how Tyson, despite being 57, is reportedly training intensely and receiving cutting-edge treatments to get into phenomenal shape. Rogan marveled at how the former champ still looks fast and powerful for his age. However, Holloway brought up that Jake Paul is 30 years Tyson's junior and has been dedicating himself to the sport for the past few years. He's made significant improvements to his boxing skills and keeps proving doubters wrong.
Eddie, your reaction to Jake saying he will become a world champion?
Everyone's entitled to have a dream. No, seriously, I'm being serious. I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion. But I will say he's improving a lot. He's dedicated to the sport. I don't know how good he is because he hasn't really faced a real fighter yet. It's not his fault. He signed to fight Tommy Fury.
A five-time world champion in Tyron Woodley's a real fighter.
Mate, he's not a real boxer. He's not, Jake.
Well, I mean,
Jake,
the first skill in MMA is boxing. He won the UFC championship with a right hand.
He's a great UFC fighter.
But you consider Tommy Fury a real boxer?
Yes.
It was hilarious, this video of Eddie Hearn totally roasting Jake Paul right to his face. It was hilarious, man. So get this, Eddie was all like, "Oh, so you want to be a world champion, huh, Jake?" And Jake was just standing there, nodding along, probably thinking Eddie was going to praise him or something. But then smirks Eddie hits him with the punchline, "Well, keep dreaming, mate, because that's all it is, a dream." Jake's face, oh man, it was priceless. You could see the shock and embarrassment written all over it. I mean, come on, Jake's got to be realistic. He's not even close to world champion material. And Eddie made sure to let him know it in front of everyone. Got to give props to Eddie for not holding back and just telling it like it is, you know? But hey, maybe this'll be the wake-up call Jake needs to realize he's in over his head. It was one heck of a roast by Eddie, and I'm sure Jake won't be forgetting it anytime soon.
Been a lot of rumors out there about the fight that maybe You're going to have 18-ounce gloves. You're going to be wearing headgear. Any truth to any of that?
No, not true at all. Not true. Not true. No true. Listen, this is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under. This is a fight.
You're going in, this is a real fight, and you're going in to win this fight. What is bringing you back? What is luring you back in? Is it kind of like the last Rocky movie and you got stuff in the basement, you need to get it out?
You know, Sean, I have a weird personality. I don't think it's weird, though. Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. And that's how it is. I was afraid for the Roy fight. I was scared to fight again. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was however old, 54, 53. And I said, let's do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible. I think I'm gonna be really, really irritable and nasty.
Do you have any dislike for Jake Paul? Like, you want to teach him a lesson?
I will do just that.
I know I speak for a lot of people. They want to see Mike Tyson.
I'll be in
they
better
want to
shape
see Mike
July
Tyson
20th.
win this fight. And my guess is this is gonna be a great night. That's for sure.
Mike Tyson said on Sean Hannity's show the other day that he's training like an absolute madman for his next fight, hitting the gym harder than ever before. He told Hannity he's going to be downright nasty in the ring this time around. The man is a machine. You know, when Mike says he's going to bring the heat, he means business. His opponent better watch out because Tyson sounds laser-focused and ready to dominate. Gotta hand it to him. Even after all these years, Mike Tyson still has that fire inside. When he said he's going to be nasty in the fight, you could practically feel the intensity through the screen. Who knows what'll happen when he steps into the ring, but one thing's for sure. With that kind of dedication and drive, Tyson is not messing around. It's going to be one hell of a show.
Listen, if Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's going to knock him out cold, isn't he? It's I am Mike Tyson. He's the baddest man on the planet, you know. And Jake Paul's obviously, he's very experienced now. He's had a lot of tough fights. He's had a lot of good fights. So he's probably a quarter of the man's age. But obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson. I'm named after the legend, and I back him. As he always backs me. I'm backing Mike for the knockout. Come on, Mike!
Yes. Did you hear what Tyson Fury said about the potential fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul? It's wild, man. Fury straight up declared that even though Tyson is 57 years old, he'd still knock Paul out cold. I mean, coming from a guy like Fury, who's the WBC heavyweight champion, that's a huge endorsement for Tyson. Think about it. Fury knows a thing or two about boxing, right? He's been in the ring with some of the best fighters in the world. So, when he says Tyson would dominate Paul, despite the age difference, it carries a lot of weight. It's like he's giving Tyson his seal of approval. This kind of backing from Fury could be a game changer for the potential fight. It adds a whole new level of hype and legitimacy to the idea of Tyson coming out of retirement to take on Paul. Fans are going to be even more excited about the prospect of seeing a legend like Tyson step back into the ring, especially with Fury's vote of confidence. Plus, Fury's comments might even get into Jake Paul's head a bit. I mean, when one of the top active boxers in the world is saying you're going to get knocked out by a guy who's been retired for years, that's gotta sting. It could add some extra psychological pressure on Paul leading up to the fight. All in all, Tyson Fury's endorsement of Mike Tyson is a pretty big deal. It's not every day that you get such a ringing endorsement from a current world champion. I mentioned many details of this saga, but there's something else very huge that is happening in the wait for this fight. So check out this deep dive where I'll tell you other rumors that are buzzing in the boxing community. You will learn new shocking claims that are attracting people's attention. Click on the screen to watch the deep dive, and thanks for watching this video.